Hey everybody, so it's week 11, and everybody back home, y'all should know that I definitely love y'all because I'm taking time out of my valuable nap time that I should be taking right now. So that means that I love you because you know I love my sleep very much. Um, and also I want to say happy birthday to my best friend, my sister, um, or Feliz cumpleaños a ti. So, yeah, to Selena, her 21st. I wish I was there. So, take a shot for me. Um, so I actually thought this week was gonna be like really chill. I didn't have anything planned, but it's actually been a very busy week. So I'll get into some differences. So one of the things is like how like every place usually has like a trend going on, and when something's going on, it's like usually famous and everyone like knows like what's happening. But stuff that's going on in the US, everyone doesn't know about it here, and you expect them to, but that's just like being like kind of like closed-minded or not really just thinking about like the whole world. So I was talking to somebody about this, and they're talking about trends, and they were saying like how they didn't know what the dab was, and or if you don't know what the dab is, it's just like there's this dance called the dab and go like that. But and then like a lot of people take pictures like doing that, and someone had a picture like that. He said that he thought like the person was sick or like didn't want to take a picture, and that's why they were doing that. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting. And there's also a lot of other different trends like that they have here, for example, that we don't know about. And also like saying, so like when we were in Buenos Aires one night, we were talking about like stuff that we usually say, like for example, um, I don't know, just like slang words, kind of. I'm trying to think of one. Let's see. Uh, okay, well, I can't think of an English one right now for some reason, but like for here, kind of like when you're drunk, sort of, they say like playa, like I'm good, like I'm feeling good. So that's kind of one, for example, but like we have other ones, and we had someone from Canada with us in Buenos Aires, and she was like telling us slang words and sayings that they use, and we're like, no, we don't use those. So I wish I had more examples, but let's see. Okay, another thing that we realized when we were over there, so I guess it's very American for or people from the US to expect their checks right away. So like as soon as you finish the meal, like you want your check there, like you want to pay, you just want to get it done with. And like the girl from Canada was saying how that's like a very American thing, like in Canada and like everywhere else around the world, like that's not a thing. Like when you finish eating, like you usually wait like 30 minutes. And also like if a waiter was to bring a check to you like right away, it would seem it's like kind of rude when they do that. So that's very interesting. And also like I kind of realized it because like when we finish eating, we're like, okay, check, like can we get the check? And it like always takes forever. And one of our other friends, like she was saying like the Europeans were telling her like why do you want this check so bad, like just calm down. Calm down. So that's something interesting. And we kind of like I do, and I've worked in restaurants like forever, and people always want their checks. So um I'll talk about how the currency has changed. So when I got here, the currency, and it's always changed, like it can change like every day, like every second, like yeah, literally every second, like it can change. So when I got here, one US dollar equaled to 680 pesos. And then before I left to Buenos Aires, it actually went down. So $1 only, I only got 660 pesos. But then when I came back, I needed to exchange money again, and it went back up, but it went to 686 pesos. So it changes every day, and you never know what it's gonna be. And oh, this one about how, well, I kind of already talked about it, but everywhere has different Spanish words. So, like in Spanish yesterday or the other day, she was like teaching us all these words. We're talking about like jackets, like jaqueta, polerón. I think that's how you say it. Um, or like camisa is another one. But then she was like, but it depends like where you're at, because like if you're in Brazil or if you're in Argentina, like that's not what you call it. You have to call it this. And it's just we're just really confused. And like, and also today, like I didn't know how to say shin guards in Spanish, so I just Google translated it. And we have like a soccer group, and because I only brought one shin guard and I need another one, so I was asking for some. And when I Google or when I translated it, they gave me the word espinilla, espinilleras, I think. And then they're like, no, that's not what you call them. You call them canilleras, something like that. So there's always different words for different places, and it's kind of annoying. And then also we're talking about like why can't Spanish just be like one universal like Spanish? Like as there's probably more than 10 different Spanishes. Like there probably is. And like last night I met a girl from Chihuahua, Mexico, and so I was like, oh, and I was like, you know the one, ¿cómo estás, güey? And she's like, sí, güey, and so she was really cool, and she was like really trying to encourage us to speak Spanish, like, and like to dedicate at least like with our friends, because I mean, people from the U.S. or just people, all the foreign exchange students mostly speak English for the most part, and she's like, no, like y'all need to dedicate like 30 or an hour of just speaking Spanish. I'm like, that's a good idea. Like we should be doing that, but sometimes it's just like, I know the English word and it takes like 5 minutes just to think of a word or like what to say. But she was really nice, and yeah. Oh, and then like another one we're talking about in Spanish class was like how you say choclo. So here that's how they say corn, like regular corn on the cob. And then they also like that's how they would say, for instance, we would say maíz and they would say choclo. So um, another one. So I accidentally hit my friend's like elbow, but I guess I hit her like her funny bone. So that's what we call it, like some, I don't know, some bone in the elbow. It's just like a weird, I don't know. It like feels weird when you hit it. So we call it funny bone. But then my friend from the Netherlands said that they, when you translate it, I'm not sure how she says it in her language, but when you translate it to English, it's telephone. That's how it translates. And then we're with another girl that was from Germany, and she says hers translate to music bone. So that I thought that was pretty funny and interesting. And then if you didn't know, like if there's traffic, like all these cars, it's just traffic. The word to like call it is taco. And so like we were one night we were on the way to Valparaiso for like to go out, and we were in like a cab thing, and we got stuck like not we were not moving for a good 5 minutes, and they're like the girls were at because the cab driver, he's like really nice, and they're like, well, like what is it, or they were just saying like what is this called, and I was like taco, and they're like no, like they're like probably like no, you're messing with me, like you're lying, and I'm like no, it's really like a taco, like how you eat a taco, and they're like really, and then the cab driver's like yeah, that's what you call them. Like see, like I do know some Spanish. um let's see. Also, and I don't know why this is, but I feel like avocados here are really expensive. So like I went to the supermarket with my friend yesterday, and she just bought like a giant, not that big. I mean a big like avocado, and it was like almost $2. And I was like, that's, I don't know if it might be that expensive in the US, but I feel like it's not that much. I don't know. But I always know like the host family here is talking about how palta, and that's what they call it, is really expensive, but they're always eating it. It's just, but here in Chile, like that's what they eat with everything. So, and oh, the time also changed, and so we might, let me check. We might be on the same time as Texas, but not, maybe not, just like an hour difference, because I know we're on the same time as Indiana. Oh no, it's still different. And now we're different. So now our time changed. And so I don't know why this is. So the time, why, of course, time changes, but it usually updates on the phone and on your computer because like there's a option where you can push like update automatically, and so I thought it was gonna do that, but it didn't, and so I went to the bus station to like go to school and everything, and so I got there like a minute before. And so sometimes the bus like just leaves like 2 minutes early because I've been on the bus when it has left 2 minutes early and they just don't wait, and there's I doubt there's another bus that goes. So I'm like, I get there and I'm like, great, the bus left. And so um, I walked to another bus stop where it was like gonna come 30 minutes later, but I would still like kind of make it on time for class. So I was like, okay, I'll just get on that one. So I get on that one and then I go to the university. I go like into my class and I walk into a random class and it wasn't mine. So I walk out and I check the time. I'm like, I'm on time. Like, why is my class not in here? And then I texted like two classmates and I'm like, hey, like, where's Spanish class? Because like they have these screens at the university that says like the room number, what class it is, and what time it is. And so the class was on the screen and it said the time and it said the time that it said on my phone. So I'm like, okay, like class is happening right now. Like it says it's in this room. I just walked into it. It's not in that room. So like where is it at? And then I was like, okay, everyone has been talking about the time changing. So I was like, let me Google what time it is. And so when I looked, it said that it was like an hour before. So I was actually really early to the bus station and to class. And I was like, great. So, but at least it wasn't behind and I didn't miss class. So I guess it's a good thing, but just went to school earlier than I had to. And yeah, so that's it. And then for the rest of the week, yeah, so one of the nights, yeah, we did go out to Valpo. And so, like, when we got, like I said, how we got stuck in the traffic, okay, so one of these cars, like, just, like, people here are impatient when they're driving. So they, like, hopped over one of the, not the sidewalks, but the kind of sidewalks, but they go up. I don't know what to call them. I don't know, I can't think of the word, but they went over that. And then there was like another one that they had to go over, and it's this tiny car, and like there was four guys pushing this car to make it go over. And then so they got over the first one, and then they were going over the second one, and it was bad. Like they pushed it, and the car just like went into the street. Like they don't care about their cars. Like they treat them like garbage. And then so we were like there waiting, and then we weren't moving for like 10 minutes. People in buses were like getting off, just walking, and we're like, okay, like this isn't gonna move, we should just walk. And so we get out of the cab, like we pay the guy, and we're walking. It's probably a few blocks till we get there. But then as soon as we walk, like we see like it wasn't even an accident, it was like something about a train, like the things had to move. But then luckily, like the car started moving and we're like, great, like we just got out of our taxi, but now the traffic's going, now we have to walk. But luckily, like our taxi guy found us again and he let us back in the car and he took us to the place. So that was really awesome. Best taxi driver ever. Um, and then the next day, yeah. Um, what else did I do? Oh, also, I have to give a shout out, I didn't forget, to Andres, Andy, and Marluz, my friends. They helped take care of me because I was not feeling well at all, so they were my life saviors, and I owe them. So I just had to give a shout out to them. And then, let's see, on Monday, no, not on Monday. Um, I forgot what I did Monday, but this was Tuesday. Um, we went to a field trip to Santiago to go to the UN, which is the United Nations, and we had to be there at, I had to wake up at 6:30 in the morning. I know, I can't believe I woke up. And then we had to be at the bus stop at 7 so we can go all the way over there. And I didn't even know really what it was about or what we were doing. And so I was like, really wasn't that excited. It was early, like I was tired. And I was like, I don't want to go. We're going to go to a lecture. People are just going to be talking, blah, blah, blah. But when we got there, and then she also said, like, bring your passport. Like, you need this. And first of all, like, I didn't take my passport because I forgot and I was rushing in the morning. And then, because when we got there, she was like, or she just told us, she was like, it's okay if you don't have your passport. I'm like, good, because I forgot. She was like, you just need like an ID or a picture of your passport. I'm like, okay, I got that. And so, like, when we got there, it wasn't like really high security, but they had security there. Like, you had to put your backpack through the little machines and walk through and stuff like that, make sure you didn't have anything. And then they gave you badges to go in. And so we walked there. And then the room that we go in is like the room that you see like on TV sometimes or like in the books. And it's like the round table and then the flags in the background of all the countries. And it was awesome. And we got to sit like at the round table. And they had 3 different speakers talking about 3 different subjects. And I actually have the paper. So, and this is for my economic development class. And so the first person was an overview of economies of Latin America and the Caribbean. And then the other one was labor markets, trends and challenges. And then the next person was, he was the Division of International Trade and Integration. I mean, so like the whole thing wasn't like entirely interesting, but some of the things were, and like they talked and then they had like a 15-minute for Q&A, and they had like each person had like these little microphones that you can talk, and each time a person talked, like they had like a video camera that like went into the person, and then they had like TVs where it showed the person talking, and it was cool. And then I got this book. It just has like graphs and talks more about the economy, and I probably should read it, but I might not. I don't know. But I just thought it was cool. So I got that. So that was really cool, interesting experience, good experience. I went to the can't talk. I went to the horse racetrack yesterday, and they're only actually open on Wednesdays, and I don't know why that is. You'd think like the weekend or something, but Wednesdays, and I've never gone because I always have soccer practice, and it's like down the hill, and I don't feel like walking up and stuff like that. But I was like, I might as well go, like I haven't been. And so I only had enough time to go for 2 races, and you actually like you can bet on the horses, and I've never been to a horse track race. Like I don't know why, like we have one not too far, but still. And so the first race I did, and when I got there, I actually walked into the wrong entrance, and I walked into the entrance where the horses are. Like that's where they walk around to like show them off before they enter the race. So that's where I entered, and my friend saw me. He's like, "Krista, like come here," and then yeah, oops. So that's first what happened. And then they're like explaining to me like the races and how you pick your horse and stuff like that. And so my first race, I bet like 1,000. They're like, "You're gonna bet that much?" I'm like, and 1,000 pesos is like $1.50 or less than $2 for sure, something like that. And I'm like, I mean, I'm only here for 2 races, so they're like, true. And so I put it on one horse because that first race was there was only 6 horses to pick from. So I picked one, and the first one I picked was because I saw the horse look at me, and I'm like, he looked at me, so that's a sign. So I'm gonna pick that one. And that horse came like second to last, so I didn't win that one. So this is the ticket. We bet like 1,000 pesos, and then that was my horse I picked, number 5. And I don't know if that's his name. Oh, no, that's not him. I don't know what that is. Okay. And then, so then it was the next race, and then there was like 11 horses, and so the races happen like every 30 minutes. So what happens is like they have the horses out like walking, so you can see the horses, so you can choose like which one to pick, and then like they walk around for you like entering the race, and that's also, and it's supposedly like how they walk and trot and stuff, and that's how you're supposed to pick your horse. And then they also have screens of like who's their favorite for that race, and then they have like the odds and how much you would win and stuff like that. And then also for the second race, there was like a jockey or a helper or some guy, and he was telling us, he's like, for this race, like pick number five, pick number five. And the guys that were there, like they go like every week, and I was like, okay, how sure? Like, cause he's told them to pick horses before. I'm like, how sure? Like, have y'all won before? He's like, yeah, sometimes. And so I was like, like I don't know. And but the guy was like so sure too. He was like, yeah, put like 10,000 pesos on this one. Like, pick number five. And I was like, and number five didn't look that good to me. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna just pick my own horses. So I picked like 10 and 4. Like, those are the ones that look best to me. And so I did 1,000 pesos again, but I split it. So I did 500 and then 500, and I lost again. But horse number 4 came in second place. So I was really close. And guess who the winner was? Horse number 5. And I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna be so mad if horse number 5 wins. Like, but I was like, okay, next time I'm gonna listen to the jockey guy. But it was fun. I plan on going again. And then also they all had like really cool names. I didn't bring the paper with me, but like one of the names of the horses, like it was Mejores. It was such a long name. I can't even remember. Place. I forgot what it is, like translated to the best, the placement or something. I don't know, but it was just like one word for the whole horse. And sometimes I wanted to pick the horse just based on what their name was. So I'll tell y'all their names next time. Yesterday I went to a salsa bachata class. It was actually pretty fun. Yeah. It was like they split the girls up, so like girls go on one side, guys go on one side, and then they did like a whole, he like stood in the front, and he's like showed what moves to do, and then he was like, okay, everyone get a partner. The first partner I had, it was good. The dance was like pretty easy, so it went well. And then like we were dancing bachata, but he was like really into it, like he wasn't like a professional, but like this guy was like also learning, like, cause when the instructor was like showing us the dance moves, he's like, wait, I have to record this. Like, I guess he like practices at home or something, but he was like doing the body rolls and everything. I'm like, okay, like too much for me. And basically he was like, yeah, you're not that good. He didn't tell me that, but I got the sign. And then there was yeah, just bachata. And then we did another one, like a little bit, like you sit down and then he goes back up and then everybody gets up. And then there was another one we did. And so me and my friend had like partners with these guys that were both friends as well. And they were just like goofy. Like they just really didn't know how to dance and stuff. And so when the dance was like, you turn, and then you like put your head to the left and then put your head to the right and then like turn and go like that. I don't know, something like that. So and we kept getting like, me and my friend, like really close, and they're like, stay over there, like that's your space. And so we're doing this oops. We're doing like go to the left, and then like I go to the right, and then she goes to her left. And then I go to my left and she comes to the right, and we bump heads, and it was a disaster. And yeah, but it was still fun. I'd probably go again. But they're in Valparaiso, and just sucks because when you're coming back from Valparaiso, like there's not that many buses, or the buses are really full and you have to stand up, so that thing kind of sucks. I have a soccer game today, so we actually had one last week, and like I said, like he only picks 12 girls. And so the first game I was like, okay, like I'm playing, like I'm gonna play every single game. So the first list came out and I wasn't on the list, and I was like double checked it, and I'm like, what the heck? And I like checked who was playing, and I was like, there's no way. Like I was actually kind of mad. I was like, there's no way, like, these girls, are you serious? Like, I was just so mad. I was telling my mom, I was like, they play, like, my JV, like, not even, like, bench of the JV. I don't know, I was being mean a little bit, but I was just super mad. And then, but then I found out that they played like a really easy team, and I was like, okay, he's like giving other girls playing time, like that's fine. And if we won 7 or 8-0, like they had to be an easy team. And so I was like, that's fine. And then we got the list. He gives out the list like the day before the game, so we got the list yesterday, and then I was like the last person on the list, and I was like, yeah. But then my like one of my the friend that I always like walk home with, like she's one of the good ones as well. And so she wasn't on the list, and I saw her today, and she was like, I was like, are you like, cause her name's Franz, so there's like three different other Franz as well, and so I didn't know her last name, so I wasn't sure if she was playing or not, and she wasn't, and she was like, did you see the other people on the list? And I'm like, yeah, like, dude, you should have been on. So, but I don't know, like, maybe this team isn't the best, but maybe, like, they're not the worst. So, I don't know, like, I don't know. But I remember last week I was pretty mad, and she was, because she didn't play the last game either, and she's not playing this game. And she's like, if I don't play the next one, like, I'm like, yeah, I get you. But today should be exciting. Um, Try to wrap this up and I'll let you know how it goes. This weekend I'm volunteering, so that should be really exciting. We're like, and it's like the whole weekend. It's like Friday night all the way to Sunday afternoon. And then they said we're gonna be like in this community, and we're sleeping there. We're gonna have like a barbecue and bonfires, and like help building this house. And I don't know, it should be really interesting. I'm really excited for that. Um, yeah, that's almost pretty much it. And also, probably next week's video, I'm gonna tell you where I'm gonna be going next. It's not for sure, but I think we're gonna be planning it this in the next couple of days. So we'll see. But until next time.